The Joe Rogan Experience.
He's an animal. But those people, and it expresses itself differently in all these different exceptional people. Like Jocko is different than Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy is different than Andy. They're all different, but also all incredibly exceptional. But there's something that they give off.
I like that, though. When you talked about the exception among the exceptional.
Yeah, that's what I think he called it. David Goggins called it uncommon amongst uncommon people.
That's true. Yeah, that is very, very true.
That's the Kobe Bryant of killing people right there. I read this thing about Kobe Bryant the other day. I was just reading. I don't know anything about basketball, okay? And I always refer to Jamie about anything sports related.
How many halftimes is there in basketball?
I have zero idea. I don't know how long it takes. It could take a day.
How many quarters?
I have no idea. I would imagine if you say quarters, I'd say there's 4 of them. If you say how many periods, I don't know.
How many halftimes?
But I was reading all the stuff about his high school coach saying that they would get there and he would be shooting baskets in the dark because they hadn't even turned the lights on yet. He'd be there an hour, 2 hours before everybody. That he would show up at these practices. Everybody would be at breakfast, and he would show up with ice on his knees, and he was fully sweated out. Like he had just done 3 hours of working out before anybody did anything. There's people like that, man, and you can hate on them. You can hate on them. You can decide that that's not worth it, but the best thing you can do is acknowledge they're doing something that makes you feel funny. And that makes you feel funny is your sense of understanding who you are. It's testing. It's testing how you feel about yourself. It's testing how you feel about your place in the universe. It's testing it. You don't want to know that there's some crazy Kobe Bryant motherfucker getting up at 4 a.m, doing deadlifts. Like, shit, I want to sleep. But I also want to be number 1, bro.
Yep.
Former Lakers player and head coach Byron Scott said he once found an 18-year-old Bryant shooting in a dark gym 2 hours before practice.
I used to do that, but it was throwing footballs. Footballs into it was actually into the laundry baskets.
It's not uncommon, man. It's not uncommon. If you
it's
really
the same
want
with
to
archery.
succeed.
I mean,
sure.
my sleeping hours are super, super irregular. There's times where I feel like practicing, or a lot of times you'll probably get up in the morning and I've already built your bow, and I built it at 4 or 5 in the morning, because to people that are the exceptional among their field, they can't sleep if they know that they have to do something.
What are we looking at, Jamie?
Because as you guys are talking about this, he just tore his Achilles. This is probably one of his last things he did. He tore his Achilles, but this is like a rule in the game. He had to shoot his free throws. It's a weird stipulation. So he's walking back out with no Achilles, and he does this. It was pretty impressive.
Wow, he can barely walk, man. Holy shit.
And no crying or nothing. But
yeah,
he's really fucked up.
That's how you have to be if you want to be a winner. There's just no way around it.
Yep.
Swish. Holla. That's why I get the money. Holla. Look at my mansion.
At that point, it's just subconscious taking over.
Anybody that doesn't think that someone like Kobe Bryant doesn't deserve a mansion and all the money he has does not understand what he just did. 2 swishes in a row with no Achilles. Just shut the fuck up. I don't know shit about basketball. I know that was amazing.
I've actually been pretty stuck on this subject in the last few weeks. I hardly ever look at negativity. I mean, I really don't read it, don't look at it, but there was a really big archery tournament about a month ago, and there were some other pros that had made some comments about me, just saying, how is John Dudley on a GRE podcast? He's not even competing. He's not even doing anything. And, people wanted to know how I felt about that. And I said, the reality is, there's several archers out there that have 10 times the talent of me, no question. I'm not saying that I have that. But what really is shitty about that situation is when someone has 10 times more talent than me and they do a 10th as much. To me, that's a big problem.
So you think there's a lot of people out there that are not realizing their full potential. So because of that, they're critical of other people because maybe even they're looking at their own self and they feel like they're not
I don't know.
maximizing their time.
I think they're looking at the problem is
Because the people do that, right?
yeah, absolutely. You limit yourself when you are not looking at what you're doing. When you're so occupied on what someone else is doing, you limit what your true talent is. So is that my problem? Is it my problem that you have 10 times the talent of me, but I'm doing 10 times more with it? Is that my problem?
Those are big numbers.
Okay, let's say 2 times.
Okay.
Okay, let's say you have twice the talent,
Right.
the natural
We don't even have
talent.
to. You have more, but you're
Right.
doing less.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I just feel like
There's a lot of people doing that, right?
yeah, there's. I actually think the majority. I think the people that are standouts are people that don't have the natural, true talent. I think John Jones is a perfect example. If he was able to literally 100% maximize his talent, how good could he be? The problem is he's the one that has 10 times the talent, but he's screwing it up. And there's guys that have half the talent that are bigger stars because they're actually doing it the right way and they're maximizing. They're almost doubling their potential because they're working at it in the right fashion versus someone that has the true talent isn't really maximizing their talent.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. But I think here's a good sign. Here's a really good sign. This is an easy way to decipher it. When you see someone complaining about someone else's success, anytime you see that, anytime you see someone complaining about someone else's success and possibly equating it to like some injustice in the world because they don't have equal success, the person's making a mistake. They're making a mistake in even the way they're thinking. If you criticize something because you just think it's bad, well, that's certainly your prerogative.
Yep.
Right? I mean, especially if it's an art form or if it's something someone created, that's one thing. But if you're upset at someone's success, that doesn't make any sense. Of course, well, they wanted to be successful. They did the thing that it took to be successful. They became successful. And what's your point? You don't have a point. Your point is, why not me? It's the little kid's version of, what about me? What about me? Well, it's not fair. It's not fair that some people are born billionaires. It's not fair. It's not fair that some people are born with birth defects where they don't have feet. It's not fair that some people, their fucking brain doesn't work as well as yours. There's a lot of shit that's not fair.
Yep.
Look at what you got. Look at what you got. You're doing well, and you're worried about someone else is doing better. Why not just look at them? Why not just look at them and go, well, what is that guy doing different? What is she doing different than me? How come she's so much more successful? How did he figure out how to do that? Look at it that way. Don't look at it like you're angry at those people. That shit is wasted. It doesn't do you any good. It does zero good for anybody involved. Not you, not the person you're trying to figure out why is this fucking guy good? That shit is just bad for you. It's bad for everybody. It's bad for the person thinking negatively. It's bad for everybody around them. The best way to do is like, like even if you're not even hateful about it, like here's a good example. Like if a movie is fucking giant in the box office, you're like, wow, I thought it sucked. I didn't like it or whatever. But if you freak out, how's fucking that movie? Jumanji? Are you fucking shitting me, bro? Jumanji? That fucking piece of shit? You know, people get crazy. They get crazy. That guy made $800 million for fucking Jumanji. Can't. It's not good for you, man. You got to let that go.
Yep.
Don't worry about Jumanji. Worry about yourself.
Did you watch Jumanji?
It's pretty good. I saw it twice.
I haven't
I
seen
have
it
little
yet.
kids, man.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's pretty good. I thought it was very good. It's really well done.
It's
Kevin
a good
Hart
point, though.
And The Rock together, you can't miss. Jack Black in one of the best performances in years. And whoever was the hot redhead chick, she was great, too.